recap the Nickelodeon fantasy series Every Which Way. We cover each episode of the show here, and I go into detail on everything relating to what happens with the show, what I remember from keeping up with it in 2014 and 15, and all the fun knowledge and commentary I can bring in with it. And here today is my very witchy friend joining me to cover Every Which Way Season 2, Episodes 11 and 12, Double Trouble, and The Emma Squad, titles relating to cloning today, very prominent concept. So give a warm welcome to, wherever you're listening, give a warm welcome to Ames Stevens.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Raina.
Of course. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. The show has me fired up. I had trouble stopping. I just kind of wanted to keep watching.
I know, right? It's great whenever I find someone who just like vibes with the show the same way I do, like just because like wanting to keep up with it. That I guess that's what the telenovela formula does to you. I don't know.
It is very addictive.
So yeah, we're here to talk about We're here to talk about 2 episodes of the show today, following our last ones. And so Ames, I invited you here today to my place, and we just a bit ago watched 2 episodes of the show Every Which Way, and you'd barely learned anything about it before.
I went in pretty blind. You had given me a brief overview of the show and some of the characters, but it all swam around a little bit in my brain, so I'd say I was coming in pretty blind.
And don't worry, I'm down to help you and help you understand better in the ways that I can. I mean, it's gonna be. There's a lot of info to pack in, and we don't have all the time in the world today, but we're gonna do our best. And so, but also don't forget, you got to hear earlier the theme song of the original telenovela that preceded this, Graci.
So much better. What can I say?
What a bomb theme song to Graci. Baila Graci, dulce Graci, Graci, dulce Graci.
Very, as you pointed out, very High School Musical. It, again, got me pumped up. I was a little let down by the English theme song. Yeah.
But I'm sure you got like a similar like visual / plot vibe to it, didn't you say?
Yes. Yes, very similar. Down to the color scheme of the uniforms.
And the way the sets looked and things. And the effects, the magic effects.
True.
When I approached you with the idea of coming on and doing an episode with me, what was your impression of what it would be like? Did the show end up matching that impression, and did you enjoy it overall?
I think so. I didn't grow up with cable, so I got Nickelodeon shows in like drips and drabs. Like I would watch them at my grandparents or my friend's house. And when we got Netflix, my sister got really into Shake It Up. So like the Nickelodeon formula, I feel like filtered down to me. And so I feel like I was like, okay, I have certain expectations for the acting and the caliber, what the jokes are like, and the like random situations. That being said, the show was more awkward than I anticipated. I kept feeling like there should be a laugh track. Like even things that aren't funny, I'm like, please, like someone laugh at this. But it's just dead silent until the next actor just like has their next line delivery, which usually is not less awkward than the one before it. So it was a bit painful.
Well, there are a few pretty great line deliveries we'll get to, but I think from one character in particular, I think you know who I'm talking about.
I think so.
So, thank you for sharing your perspective, like going into this.
Yeah, of course.
And so you, it's been a pretty common reaction to see for people to say like, why doesn't this have a laugh track, and things like that. It's just like you very well could like yourself add one,
Well, you've seen those edits of like Friends without the laugh track, and you're just like, oh, this is so uncomfortable.
And this is a whole show of that.
Yeah, yes, seasons upon seasons.
But and they just like the they do the caliber of jokes that demand a laugh track, like says random thing. Ha ha ha.
Or like, I got slimed. Like, how am I supposed to react to that?
Yeah, we'll get to the slime. That was so. Oh my god.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah. So to get started with the events of the episode, which we'll go through and give our opinions on. So we start off with how the cliffhanger left us last time of Jax and Emma arriving back at Emma's house after the day in which they skipped school and Emma got in trouble, but Jax didn't, and he is here to show her why. It's because
that's good context.
It's because he knows a spell that's to give himself a clone that he can send to do things in his place that he doesn't want to do.
Dun dun dun.
He offers a spell. So many places to go, people to see. I can't do them all. Make another one of me. And then the clone pops up and it says, Jax Jr. at your service. And Emma's like, you have a twin? No, I have a clone. Oh, so...
Sorry.
What in particular about that was funny? I want to know.
Well, why? If you saw him cast a magic spell to create the same one of him, like, you thought that was his brother? Like, I just truly don't understand that thought process.
Yeah. So, but Emma asks, like, is this allowed? Well, it depends on what you mean by allowed, Jackson. I love jokes with a setup like this, like, or like, well, it depends what you mean, but in reality, it's like, no, it's not allowed at all.
Very true. And he's like, legally? No. By the Witches' Council?
Also,
no. And no third example. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah. And so he's like, oh, she's like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's a spell that my dad taught me, and but yeah, we can't let anyone know about this. Oh, okay. And then her dad comes home. Emma, I'm home. Knock, knock, knock. Oh no! You can't see that you're here, and especially with the clone and all. But Jax doesn't listen to her.
Doesn't he just like poof his twin into oblivion?
Yes.
That's so dark.
And then he starts his tactic. He opens the door and catches the things that were in her dad's hand. That he was like, oh my god, Emma, help me! I'm gonna drop all the things.
I'm gonna drop the pizza.
Oh no! You better come quick. And then he swoops in, saves the day to get her dad's favor.
The dad is very taken with Jax.
To an uncomfortable extent.
Agreed.
Because he was like, oh, Jax, wow, thank you. Stay for dinner, won't you?
He's like, oh, this Jax guy is pretty hot, huh, Emma? I don't know about that loser Daniel you're dating. I'm like, if my dad said that about my partner, I would be really upset.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's messed up, dude. Get out of my business.
Yeah. So then, so you went into this cold, as we said. We then cut from there to a scene in which several characters are standing around. One character is wrapped up in saran wrap, from like shoulders down to his legs, and an adult woman is like touching her with one finger, and a girl is holding his other hand, and they're like, we're gonna do this now. Comment how what you tried to make of that.
Yeah, I was watching it with an open heart, open eyes. I was just accepting. I just accepted. I was like, okay, something really weird is happening. I don't like this adult woman. I don't know who any of these people are, why this man is tied up in saran wrap, but I'm assuming there's a good reason.
Yeah, I realized just like what a great scene to be dropped into out of context that was.
But that's so telenovela and so Nickelodeon. It's just like, hey, random scene with like 8 characters. and they're all just kind of standing in a line, cheating out to the camera.
Yeah, as we do.
Classic blocking.
And so so the character Sophie, she just comments like, "I think I smell burning," and then Katie is like, "Nope, no, it's nothing. Back up."
Which one's Katie?
She's the one who's black.
Oh, okay.
Sophie is like the ditzy one.
Oh yeah, Sophie's the weird one who we can't quite figure out. And who's the blonde, like the mean girl?
Maddie.
Thank you. It's a lot of names.
And her mom's name is Ursula.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for her.
Yeah. And so her mom is like reluctant. So what they're doing here is so recently Maddie found out that her mom had stolen her powers and now is determined to get them back through this power exchange thing. And because Diego, he's a Kanai, that's the breed of magic being he is. So he can be used for the transfer, but it's dangerous for him for all the power to pass through him.
Is that like his only, like, is that the only thing he gets to do as a Kanai? Like,
no, he gets to throw fire and breathe ice.
Nice. Okay, cool. I was like, that would be really sad if, like, you had magic, but your only ability was to be a conduit for other people.
Yeah, but that's one of his purposes, I guess.
Gotcha.
Potentially. Yeah. So, so they're setting up for this, and Diego has agreed to do this at great physical risk to himself, but the saran wrap is supposedly supposed to help mitigate the risk of him disintegrating.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Just like when I put it on like my stove for an energy transfer.
Yeah. Yeah, and but they so it can either be a Kanai, this breed of magic being, or just a giant ball hodgepodge of metal.
Yeah, they don't really explain that, and honestly, can't say that I really need them to.
Yeah. But Maddie's mom, she's like desperately wanting to get out of transferring the powers back. I want to hold on to the powers. I'd be glad to hold on to them until you're 18 or 30.
Yeah, very selfish Ursula vibes.
Yeah, but they're like, all right, we're doing it, and Maddie's mom was like, au revoir, powers.
Yeah.
She gives a pouty face.
She does. There's a lot of pouting in this show, I realize.
Yeah, and so she touches him with her pointer finger, and they start transferring the energy. And Matt, okay, I actually really like this. Maddie likes when they start the transfer. Just a few seconds in, she notices that Diego's like convulsing a little bit. So she's like, Diego, and then she stops immediately.
Yeah, I like that too. But then immediately she's back in like mean girl mode. She's like, it's not working! And then she storms out.
It's clear what they're trying to imply here. Her mean side is an act. That's that she's putting on. Like, at least, because like, for the vast majority of the time she's shown to, have that mean girl shtick to her. And like act rude to everyone and bratty and such, but the show, like, it started out slowly, like very like sporadic bits and pieces of this, but we get to see like every now and again in the first season that she is like has a nicer side underneath, and she's starting to bring it out more and more as we go into this season.
Oh, character growth! Yay!
Yeah. I was pretty unkind to Maddie in that first season. I was just like, wow, she just sucks, and why does anyone around like agree to be around her? But
I think that's how she's presented.
Yeah, but yeah, I've gotta like, there's like interesting layers being opened up here. Like it was like done pretty subtly. Like the way she acted, it was pretty subtle. Like, Roxy, what? Oh no, I'm worried about you. Stop. But this is not working, actually.
Agreed. And it's kind of strange because it's like she like snaps out of the Nickelodeon acting for a second, and you're like, oh my god, I forgot what like actual acting is like. Like, I forgot to feel something.
She like acts really like genuine seeming for a second.
Totally.
Which I think is a strong choice, honestly.
Agreed.
And like she gave in the last episode that we watched that I did an episode on, recorded on, that she had a really like well acted like crying scene. It was really good. I gave strong kudos there, and like like kudos to Maddie's actress. She's making really good choices.
Yeah, okay, Maddie. Wow. She's got depth. She's got layers.
Paris Smith, kudos to you if you're listening.
Good job, Paris Smith.
Yeah, and so Maddie pulls away. She's like, we're done. We're not doing this right now." And then her mom is like,
iconic.
"Yeah, yeah."
Powers are still mine.
And Diego and everyone look at her just like, and Diego gives the funniest hop out to the side away.
But that's Maddie's mom.
Yes.
You know, that explains a lot.
It does. Yeah. Very obvious reason why she is the way she is.
Yeah.
So then we cut to Daniel at his house and his brothers, two out of the T3, and they're like looking through their closet of prank items, and they're like, "Hey, wait, some of our stuff is missing," and this is actually foreshadowing for later. You see, because they're like, "Hey, where's a bunch of our stuff? It's like out of order and stuff is missing," and they look at Daniel in the room. He's like, "What? Don't look at me. What would I do with that stuff? I don't even know what half of it is."
Daniel doesn't seem very prank inclined.
No, he's not. That's why he calls his siblings the Terrible Three, you know, and
he's got a point.
And then the younger one, Tommy, says like, "So young, so foolish."
I like that line. That line was funny.
Yes, it was so good.
Yeah.
I was sitting with you. You went like, "Oh my god!" at that line.
There's another. Is it a Nick show with like a young, like the youngest brother is like the straight man of the show, kind of. You know what I'm talking about? And he's kind of just like looking at the rest of his family, and just be like, "You guys are crazy." I like that.
Yeah. Yes, and and apparently their grandma pays for all their fireworks and CO2 cartridges.
Relatable. Grandma, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. That definitely is not what I'm spending your birthday money on.
No, of course not. I can vouch for that.
CO2 cartridges is crazy. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. She sends them stuff because their allowance is 50 cents a week, apparently, to prevent them from buying all this dangerous stuff.
Yeah, at that point. Anyway.
Yeah. So,
50 cents went a lot further in 2014, let's put it that way.
But then their mom comes in and is like, "Hey, I see you're reading Shakespeare." But he's like, I don't like doing this. I have to do this as a punishment. Mr. Alonzo is making me do it. He hates me. I don't think he hates you. I think he's just trying to make you learn a lesson. She's like horribly dismissive.
Yes. Not cool.
Like, we've seen all the stuff that he's been through, like making bad impressions and it's just a string of bad luck to make Daniel's the principal, Emma's dad, hate him, and it's like, oh man, he's like the nicest person. He doesn't deserve any of that, but it's just this bad luck that bad things happen when he's around Emma's dad, and she's like, well, you should go talk to him about it. Well, if I do, I need my parents to back me up on this.
Yeah, that's so brutal.
That's what I would have said.
To be like, hey, Mom, I'm being intentionally targeted by the principal unfairly, and he's continually giving me detention for no reason. She's like, you should just work it out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She's like, he doesn't hate you. He's like, Mom, I'm suffering academically. She's like, nah, it's all good.
Yeah, I hate this dynamic so much. It's like, I think this dynamic stopped being funny a long time ago. Like they've dragged it out.
It's pretty messed up.
So yeah. Cut to Jack, cut immediately from that to Jack's getting in such good graces with Emma's dad.
Totally eating his anchovy pizza.
His anchovy caramel pizza.
Yeah. Ooh.
And they'd make jokes about the math themed party.
Yeah.
Like, hey, at this party in my youth, the the cake was shaped like a plus sign.
Yeah, that's just like a cake with the corners cut off. Like, again, this is a moment where the laugh track could really come in handy here.
And they're like, and he's like, and Emma's like, yeah, that I remember that too. That's why I don't celebrate my birthday parties anymore. Geez, Emma, like, I think you need to talk to someone about that.
Yeah, that's a really sad throwaway line. My goodness.
Like your dad should be like more respectful of you.
Yeah, she's like 16 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he like insists on throwing these cringeworthy parties for her to the point where she's like, "Don't throw me any more parties."
That's brutal. That's completely brutal.
Like every episode, I hate Emma's dad more.
Yeah, I'm not getting the best vibes.
Yeah. But Jax is like very visibly sucking up to her dad.
Yeah, like is he trying to like do it to like get closer to her?
Yes.
Going through the parents. Let me tell you, that's I don't think it's a great strategy. I feel like there are probably a lot of teenage girls who like if their dad gets along really well with their partner, like I feel like that'd make them think their partner is less cool.
Yes.
Right? Like
I would imagine, yeah.
Being like, oh, you and my dad are like similar and really get along, like I don't know, I feel like that'd be a negative in my book.
Yes, straight up. And the funniest part of all this, Daniel comes over and he like witnesses this through the window.
He's just creeping through the window, and the shots are so good because it's just like the like shadow of his face, and he has like a dead serious expression, and he's looking through the window for like a long time, like watching them eat dinner, and I'm like, buddy, maybe this isn't the best look.
Yeah.
If this is the stuff you're doing around the principal, like maybe you can chill a little bit.
Yeah, but I get the horror that he experiences here because he can tell what's going on. Just like Jax and what he's doing, like he can tell.
It's not cool. It's absolutely not cool.
And what's the most messed up bit at the end of that when Emma's dad's like, not this Jax guy, you should be with them.
Again, deeply uncomfortable. And a huge strike against someone. If my dad is like coercing me to date you, I'm like, no.
That would justify a bit of like, what the hell, Dad?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't love that.
Yeah, if one of my folks was doing that, I would speak my mind about it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not in a relationship, like, you're allowed to be like, oh, that guy's cute, whatever, but she is dating someone. Excuse you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
And like, yeah, I know, and just because, like, he's like, likes math and is polite, vaguely,
He's not, but he's not. Ugh. Maybe I just don't like his hair.
Oh, no, he gives off bad vibes in loads of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, I
think then it cuts to Andy, right?
Andy sneaks in through Emma's window, bedroom window.
Is she not allowed to hang out with her? Like, is there a reason, or are they just like...
That's just the second door.
They're just like that. That's cool.
Yeah, and she sees Jax in Emma's room, and
which, again, weird.
And he's like, I'm gonna tell Emma on you. Fine. And he teleports away, and then she goes into the living/dining room, and she's like, hey, Emma, you'll never believe what Jax is there at the dinner table? What?
Eating anchovy pizza.
Anchovy caramel pizza.
Oh, God.
And that's what Andy is like, too. She's like, do you guys even have taste buds? Is the line.
I'm with her on that one.
Laugh track. Ha 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 ha.
God, I wish.
And that's actually a running joke in the show. Like, everyone orders awful pizza topping combos.
That's really funny, actually. I really like that as a running joke.
And like Emma's favorite order is like anchovies with pineapple and spinach on a whole wheat crust.
No,
And
girl, no.
she
No,
called
and I'm a pineapple girl. Like I love pineapple on pizza, but that combination is horrid and upsetting.
at another point in the show, Andy is like they like Andy and Emma are at home. They hear the doorbell ring, and Andy says like, "Ooh, did you order a pizza with m- with pineapple, sausage, marshmallows, and cranberries?"
You had me in the first half, not gonna lie. That those first two ingredients sounded great.
Yeah.
Um, Not those last two so much. Can't say I'm a fan. Are there
Also,
pizza places that'll put marshmallows on pizza? Sorry, I'm just like, is that a
almost
real
certainly
thing?
not.
Somewhere, somewhere's the marshmallow pizza place.
It's like some sort of novelty place probably in New York somewhere will do that.
Mm. I
Wait,
think that's actually how they do it in Italy. I think that marshmallows are actually authentico. I think I heard that somewhere.
what?
Yeah, I think I saw that on
Oh, totally, yeah.
somewhere. AI,
Cranberries.
Gemini.
Yeah. Oh, that yeah. We just watched the Gem and the Holograms episode where they go to Italy. I think they order cranberry pizza and
With marshmallows, that's
yeah in
totally
the
true. Great
episode.
crossover.
Yeah, that totally happened in the episode we watched. Yeah, and and Emma's dad invites Jax to go to the big brains meeting that's tomorrow night. Emma's gonna be there, and I'm gonna be introducing my Pythagorean theorem second version, triangles 2.0.
I like, okay, I'm not a math person, but I would be interested to be like, what, how,
How
what
did
are,
you somehow come
how,
up with a second like formula for triangles?
like, what are your new triangles? I have to know.
Yeah, yeah, we gotta gotta find out. I wish we'd gotten to know.
Yeah, me too. We should have just mid-episode cut to like a 20-minute explanation about like the Pythagorean theorem
Yeah,
and how to calculate angles in various triangles.
yeah, but Jax is like, yeah, I'll totally go. That'll be great. And and her dad's like, good man, Jax.
I bet he doesn't even like triangles.
No, he doesn't. And also that when Andy was like, "There's someone in your room, Jax. I can't. How did you get?" And Emma like basically shuts her up. Like, I'll explain later. I was like, "What the fidget? Shut up. Fine."
Another
What?
very awkward exchange.
But Andy learns about the next day the cloning situation. It's like two Jaxes. I can't stand one.
I'm with you on that one, Andy.
Exactly. And and Amatola is like, oh yeah, this spell will get him in big trouble. And then she's like, yes. And then is ready to like squeal on him as
So
a
true.
quick way to get rid of him. And she's like, Emma's like, no, we can't do that. Fine.
Send him directly to jail.
But I hate Jax and his low life dirt bike. But you were just drooling over his dirt bike last week.
My prediction is that Andy and Jax are going to end up together. Raina will not tell me if that's true or not.
We'll log that prediction in the record.
Okay, cool.
We'll come back to it.
Anytime in a Nickelodeon show I see a character of one sex complain about a character of the other sex, I just feel like they're going to get together.
Oh yeah, it's sitcom gospel. It's the hate each other in the pilot, get married in the finale trope.
Tangent, but I hate enemies to lovers. My least favorite romance trope.
Yeah. So but the Andy's line is like, no, that wasn't me drooling. That was soda spilling over out of my mouth because of how lame the bike was.
Oh, it's like, that's not a joke.
That's just gross.
It is gross.
And but then Daniel comes over and he's clearly like a bit. He's like acting bitter over what he saw. Like I saw you through the window. Your dad and Jax being super close together, and then Andy's like, you look through the window, stalker.
Again, I'm with Andy on that one. I feel like Emma doesn't really have a reaction to that. She's just kind of like, oh, Daniel, it's nothing. And he's like, I saw you. Like,
and then she
I have concerns.
And then she mocks him for it. He's like, oh, you're jealous because of my dad and Jax?
Yeah, like that's a very reasonable conclusion. Again, I would also be very uncomfortable with Jax and how he's treating my girlfriend's father.
Especially knowing the dynamic that he and his dad have.
Yeah. Aww.
Like, that would be a sticking point of, like, well, my dad hates you but loves him. Like, being with him would be easier, like, in that regard. Like, that would drive a wedge, actually.
Agreed. It's a legitimate relationship concern.
And, yeah. I didn't like Emma mocking him for that.
Me neither.
And,
yeah, the relationship is confusing. I don't really understand it.
Yeah. But meanwhile, Diego gives a genuine thank you to Maddie. Like, thanks for, thanks for being,
For not electrocuting me?
Yeah, thanks for not electrocuting me. And then she's like, well, I'm just frustrated, because
I want my powers back.
After another moment where she's like, well,
very genuine.
Yeah. You do appreciate it? Yeah. No!
Yeah, totally.
She very visibly, like, hastily puts up the front again.
Yep.
And it's great. And but he continues to act genuine and like selfless. He's like, hey, we'll figure it out. Well, I promised you I'll find the ball of scraps. And you're like, what?
Oh, he says that?
Yes.
I must have just, like, dumped that from my brain. That was, like, foreshadowed at all.
Yeah, but you couldn't find it before. Well, I'll just get metal from wherever I can. How are you gonna find enough metal for it? Probably the T3. And she's like, yeah.
See, okay, because I didn't understand I didn't know what the T3 was, so now that makes sense. You know, when I heard that, I assumed that the T3 was, like, a magic junkyard. Like, I just imagine it's a place where wizards go to, like, I don't know, just, like, sort through, like, magical, like,
artifacts.
Discarded microwaves and stuff.
That's a pretty awesome concept. There is a place called Limbo where lost things go later.
I like that. That's probably where my car keys ended up and my social security card.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get all the scrap metal that we need, and then Katie and Sophie were like, we're gonna get the metal ourselves and beat him to it. We got this metal detector from the janitor.
That's why they have the metal detector. I didn't understand at all what they were doing that.
I don't blame you. They just throw things at you.
I was just like, random. Especially with, what's her name, Sophie?
Yeah.
Yeah, her character is very like, what am I gonna do next?
Yeah, and she has what may be the funniest line in this episode. We're gonna get to it in just a second. But she's like, yeah, we got the metal detector here. It's the one that the janitor uses to fish retainers out of the trash, which is smart.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, we're gonna get the ball first. We're gonna find enough metal for the ball before him. We're gonna get the credit, and so meanwhile, we cut to a scene with the Witches' Council members.
So that's who that was.
And so
with my favorite character,
Agamemnon.
Yes. Okay, my argument is that he's the only actor who knows what show he's in.
Expand.
He's having so much fun with it. He's like, oh
yes, the
witchy ways. You have to get the chosen one. I'm like, okay, finally. Someone who's having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's in like
maybe for the best. And
he was the only character who had whimsy, in my opinion. This show is severely lacking in whimsy for a magical TV show.
Your plan is clearly not working.
Brilliant. And his like fun, funky, like scientist goggles. I just love it. I'm just like, oh my god, the first character who's not just like a generic high schooler,
or a weird lady, or yeah,
precisely.
So yeah, they're talking about how how Desdemona's plan of helping out Emma by becoming the school gym teacher isn't working because she clearly knows nothing about the human world and what a PE class entails.
Oh, they're trying to help Emma,
and keep tabs on her and make sure that she dumps Daniel at some point.
Why? Oh no! Damn, everyone's against Daniel.
Because he's a normal human and witches can't date normal humans.
Oh, that's...
Witches of Waverly Place did the same thing as...
They did?
Yeah. At least with the werewolf thing. Remember that? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. But Desdemona's like, no, my plan is going to work. I'm the only one who can do this.
Yeah, very self-confident.
We're leading the region in basket team ball. That's not even a thing.
No, wait, yeah, what does he say? He's like, you don't even know foot.
No. She says, I don't remember the context, but she's like, yeah, well, you don't know a thing about basket footy ball.
Again, like, it makes
that combination of words is viscerally uncomfortable.
Agreed. Basket footy ball, like, makes my inside shrink.
Yeah, it curdled my brain cells to hear that.
Preach.
But Lily is like, I don't know, I should probably watch over Emma instead until after the full moon, and then put off my guardian or witches council training for later. And Agamemnon says, that may be for the best.
Again, just excellent line delivery.
Yeah, and so yeah, but then Lily's like, what's this doing here? And picks up a pair of pliers that Andy left there, because she's been using she's been camping out in the nurse's office now that Lily is gone.
I'm not even gonna ask.
And that's where we come up with Maddie later. We'll get to it.
Okay.
But yeah, Jax tells his clone, you better do well in this math test. And he's like, okay, good. I studied plenty hard. No. Don't study. That'll just clog my head with useless information that I don't need. Just use magic and cheat. Oh, okay.
Yeah, his clone is very amiable.
And Jax is like, he knows who he is. I'll give him that. He's like, I don't need to know these school things.
Facts.
Yeah. And
but again, he doesn't even care about math. That pisses me off. Yeah. Be yourself, Jax. Even if who you are sucks, you should still be yourself. Someone told me that once.
And especially if you're gonna use that to suck up to Emma's dad and horn in when she's in a relationship.
Agreed.
So many layers to that. And like this is, you can tell, like, he's planning this out.
Very calculated.
Mm-hmm. But then he sees Sophie and Katie having gotten their metal detector from the janitor.
Right.
And they're like, and Maddie's like, what is this? Oh, we're gonna beat Diego to finding the metal. And then Katie cuts her off. We're gonna help Diego find enough metal for the ball of scraps.
Another, like, classic Nickelodeon moment. I'm gonna kill. I mean, help him.
Oh, okay. And no one.
And everyone just moves on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she didn't mean that. I see.
Yeah. I didn't hear the first part.
Nope.
And then and Maddie's like, oh well, good then, and leaves. Or no. Oh no. Jax comes in and is like, hey, if it isn't the wicked powerless witch of the West, and then Maddie says, how dare you? And then Katie says, we're also we're on the East Coast. And then Sophie butts in with, also known as stage left.
Winner. That's when Sophie won me over. That's when I was like, yes. I like her. I think her sense of humor is I think she gets me.
Yes, she has many sides to her and knows which one to pick out every moment for the best humor.
Yeah, I think like having one really random character can work, and she commits. She commits really hard, and that I love.
I genuinely think that all the different bits that she does is an act on her part. She's just like acts all these different things out for the benefit of others.
Yes, and the audience.
Yes, and she says it like in a sassy way, like also known as stage left.
Again, just killed it. But
I think that's the funniest moment in these two episodes. Genuinely,
I would agree. I would agree. That got me.
It's like out of nowhere, but also facts.
Yes, because it's like I don't know. It's just one of the only moments where like I can't even explain it. Where like they have like a little back and forth. You know, they have some repartee.
And they're like. Genuinely, they're like the misfits working off of each other.
Agreed.
Like, cause and Maddie says, if I had my powers, you'd be a possum right now. What, a possum? And then Katie adds on, yeah, and dangling by your tail. And then Sophie adds on, which is awesome. How do they even do that?
Same. Like, again, I'm with her. I'm just, like, thinking about, I'm like, yeah, possums are cool. But what's happening?
But she was saying it with this facial expression like, yeah, I'm saying a cutting line here, but I'm actually just saying, you know, facts.
Possums are great. Again, she commits.
And then Jax fires back with, well, if I had my powers, oh, wait, I do, actually. So just hop along now, and then cruelly cast a spell on her to make her hop like a bunny away and put her arms up like a rabbit.
Yeah, did they ever resolve that?
I guess it was just temporary.
I guess it wore off.
Yeah.
Between episodes.
And so she's like, she just hops away and can't control, like, what did you do to me? And then Jax walks away, and then Sophie chases after him. What, Jax? Me next. Again,
same. I would be in. I would be like, I want to be part of the animal brigade.
Yes. And so, misinformation is reporting from the cafeteria. Principal Alonso has had enough of this, and he like confiscates her camera and her microphone as she's given the daily report. It's like, that's enough of you gossiping. I'm taking that, and I'm taking that. Hey, this is censorship.
Honestly, that's topical.
Yeah. Oof. Well,
sorry, it's really dark. Yeah. Well, you know, anyway, I'm with her. And another strike against the principal.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like, you're going to the office. But then he comes past Emma and is like, hey, Emma, permission to talk to you as your father? Permission granted. All right. Tonight, we're going to leave for the presentation an hour and a half early. You're going to help me set up. And yeah, you promise, right? Yeah. I need to go and all that bit ahead of time so I can set up all my visual aids for the math presentation.
All my triangles.
Yeah, nobody wants to miss Triangles 2.0. Yeah, and she's like, yep, I'll be there. And then Diego...
No, Daniel.
Every guest of mine and myself mix those names up.
That's so funny.
Maybe you shouldn't have two main characters with the same first letter of their name.
Agreed.
Yeah, and he comes in and is like, "Hey, Emma, so it was so difficult, but I got our plans for tonight. My dad got us tickets to Twilight on Ice."
Okay, so far they've mentioned The Wizard of Oz and Twilight. So, like, there are magical people in this world, but then they have the same, like, fake magical media, which is very confusing to me.
Mm-hmm. But,
that's it.
Don't question it.
No. I gotta roll with the punch. This whole show, I just gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah, but Emma forgot about the anniversary. Oh, no.
Ruh-roh.
And it's like, yeah, I'll be there. I cleared my schedule, she says. And
liar.
And he's like, okay, good. And curses, she says under her breath. What am I gonna do?
Oh God, who writes that? Anyway, sorry.
She didn't say that. Curses. I just said that as like filling in.
Oh no, I feel mean. I'm sorry. But it's a point that I would completely believe that would be a line in this show.
Yeah, But Gigi live vlogs the meeting with the principal in the office, and 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 he's like, hey, you need to stop gossiping and like leaking private information from people, and it's wrong. And she's like, away.
Yep.
I'm live blogging this meeting. I gotta share the stories with the people.
Classic.
And then and he's like exasperated, but then Desdemona bursts in. It's like, hey, principal. Oh hi, Coach Desdemona. I'm in the middle of a meeting here. I want to direct Romeo and Juliet.
She really comes out swinging with that one.
Yeah, and you are you Gigi? Yep, that's me. And puts her hand up under her chin, like, yeah. How would you like to be my assistant director? Wait, says Principal Alonso. She's being punished.
Yeah, he's like, she has detention.
Oh, this is actually a good idea. If she's working in this role as assistant director, she'll be too busy to gossip.
And I feel like throwing someone who's known for gossip into a theater setting is not a very wise decision.
Yeah, nice try, dude. If that's your goal. But her friend Sebastian is like, I'd like to help too, and then she says, "Silence, mophead."
Yeah, did not like that. That felt very charged to me.
That's not cool.
Yeah, I thought the Witches' Council were the bad guys. I got like villain vibes
kind of
from
are.
them.
I mean, given what they're how they're policing, Emma and such.
Yeah, and Desdemona especially, I'm like, I got very bad vibes. I got very I don't know. I got very I'm trying to be a student vibes, but I'm 53. I got very Karen vibes. Not a big fan.
No, definitely. And but that night, and as her dad's calling on her to go leave for the math presentation thing, and as she's supposed to leave to meet Daniel, she's like, screw it, I'm gonna do the clone spell so I can go to
She paces around her room being like, oh, what am I gonna do?
we know what you're gonna do.
If only I had a spell for this. Which is great.
And so she casts the clone spell on herself, and a clone appears wearing the same outfit. But this clone is acting very different. She's very she's the mean side of Emma.
She's baddie Emma.
Baddie Emma. Yeah.
She's got her leather jacket on. She's got her swag on.
Yeah, and is like, well, so I'm supposed to go to this. I'm supposed to go to this presentation, huh? Yeah. Yeah. And while you go off on your cutesy little date, huh? Yeah. It's like, why are you so mean? Don't ask me. I'm you. So ask yourself.
Which, that was the first moment I was like, oh, there's depth here. That's true. That's a really good point. This person is only a reflection of her inner self, and therefore maybe she needs to listen to her.
Yeah. So original Emma goes to her date with Daniel at the Daniel's house, and the Terrible Three serve them.
Which, I'm sorry, so lame for an anniversary. It's cute having your siblings give you dinner and stuff.
They dress in tuxes and such.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being that's objectively cute, but I feel like if it's our anniversary, what if we actually went out and you treated me?
Yeah. Yeah, they pour her juice, and then they're like, we're preparing something back here. Oh, anniversary prank. And then they just bring down a poster that says happy anniversary. And then Emma's like, oh, no goo, huh? Not for you. And then they pull rope.
And they pull rope, and the most congealed, gelatinous, clumpy substance falls on his shoulder.
Orange substance. Yeah.
And I'm like, this is Nickelodeon. What happened to the you can't even slime somebody?
Yeah, and I was like, is this the expired slime?
Exactly. Again, just all the leftover slime from the Kids' Choice Awards. Just sitting in buckets in the sun behind the studio. And they're like,
Yeah.
hey, what are we going to do with this? Should we throw it out? And they're like, just give it to Every Which Way.
Yeah. They'll take it.
Just I wonder, Nintendo, does Nickelodeon, like, require a certain amount of, like, slimes per episode, do you think? Do they have, like, a slime quota that you
Maybe
have
slime
to
per
meet?
season. I don't know.
Truly.
So
Disappointing.
meanwhile, evil Emma goes to the presentation. Jax meets her, and they're both like ready to leave. So he's like, he thinks that evil Emma is the original Emma. I don't. Okay.
Yeah, even though she's acting completely differently and has a Jack, whatever.
But he's like, ooh, I like this, Emma. How you're acting now. You're like you're more freewheeling and
which hate Jacks kind of agree. I'm like, I don't know. Emma's been really. She mostly just like huffs, you know. She's a very huffy character.
I'm goody.
She's very just like, oh, but I gotta do this, but I gotta do this, and like I don't know, like Jacket Emma like has a personality. She's sure of herself. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm just like I don't know. She's more entertaining to watch.
Yeah. So evil Emma leaves the room for a second and is like, well, I'll be ready in a moment. And is like, it winks at him, and then a different clone of Emma, a nerdy clone, comes back in and is like, all right, time for you to go, Jax. What aren't you going with me? No, I'm staying here. The other Emma is waiting for you outside.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay. So I'll leave, and then my clone will come back in here.
Right.
It's not difficult to follow at all, especially later on. So yeah, this nerdy Emma is into the math presentation that's going on, and so. But meanwhile, Diego, Katie, and Sophie set up the ball of scraps in the living room, ready to do the transfer. And and he's like, I got all this stuff from the 7, the scrapyard, and from the T3. I'm guessing this is why all their stuff was missing earlier.
I didn't get that actually. Also, what's the 7? That's
the restaurant that they go to later. You know where they kiss. You know.
Oh, gotcha.
And so like, Katie and Sophie are like, we did it, and then Diego's like, no, I actually did it. Come on now. And Sophie says, I ruined my manicure for this.
Liar. Again, Sophie lost me on that one.
Yeah. So they're like, we're ready to do the transfer now, but oh no, Maddie's mom's not here. And then Sophie's like, I'm on it.
Oh yeah, and then she walks off stage and you hear a blood-curdling scream. It's like, oh, okay. Don't know what that was.
And then Sophie drags her back into the room. You're not getting out of this one.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was gonna happen. Like I knew exactly that there was gonna be a scream off screen.
Yes, they set that one up and just sunk it in the basket. Another great joke.
And she's like, this is my morning losing my powers outfit.
Yeah.
So they do the transfer. The lights flicker. Maddie stumbles aside. Whoa, Maddie, are you okay? I think so. Let me try something. Waves her finger around. Magic comes out. Yay! My powers are back. It worked. Watch out, world. The witch is back.
That's that's what I say every time I walk into work.
Yeah.
Alone to myself.
Yeah, very very witchy. And so then Jax and evil Emma say like, I haven't snuck into so many concerts and movies in one night.
They say that?
Yeah.
What? They sneak into multiple concerts and movies?
I'm guessing using their teleportation or something.
Oh, right, magic. I kind of forget magic exists in this world. They don't use it.
Oh, right, I forgot. So then they're like, this is great. You're great. And then Jax, like, bites his thumb for a second.
It's my favorite. When he bites his thumb all sexy, I'm like, no.
I'm not sure whether to kiss, but then they're like, but then evil Emma leans into it first.
Yep.
And then they kiss.
They do have chemistry, though, I'm not gonna lie.
I like this Emma better, he says. And then Andy happens to come in, and you called it.
She just, it's so funny because they kiss and then she just walks in and sees them and then just walks out
Right,
again.
right.
It's so great.
And then she goes to Emma's house later.
Mm-hmm.
So Emma gets home from the date with Daniel, original Emma, and like, I'm gonna fall asleep on the couch in the living room.
Random.
And then Andy's like, "What the hell, Emma? What was that I just saw? You and Jax?" "No, that wasn't me.
No, that wasn't. What are you?
I swear it was you. At least it looked like the back of your head. I think you need glasses."
Oh, yeah. She gaslights her really hard.
Yeah.
She's like, you can't even see. She's like, oh.
Didn't your mom say you needed glasses?
She's like, I guess it was just someone with a similar hairstyle or something. And she's like,
Anyway.
yeah.
Anyway, couldn't be like I know I told you about the clone spell earlier. But that never crosses her mind.
Right.
Like, even though Emma doesn't want to tell her, I'm surprised Andy doesn't just guess it on her own.
Yeah. And Andy's on her doing her own thing. She's on her own level.
But then original Emma confronts the evil clone. It's like, yeah, I like you didn't even like finish, like you didn't even stay through the whole mass presentation that my dad did. No, I did. And then the nerdy clone comes in.
Whoa.
And then they're like, yeah. But evil Emma says, yeah, because now that we have her, we'll never have to do homework again.
Which, again, can I just point out that that is the exact plot of Severance? Is that there's just a version of you who has to do all the most boring things in your life while you get to just, like, roam free and hang out with your boyfriend? Like, is that not horrible? I don't know. But in this version, she likes math, so maybe it's fine.
Yeah. It's pretty good, yeah. And so yeah. But then Lily knocks on the door. Like, Emma, you home? I need to talk to you. And then it's like, you guys gotta go. Maybe I'll stay and you go. Says evil.
Very creepy. Never want to hear your clone say that.
But Emma picks the funniest solution. Just magically forces evil Emma to back up.
Oh, yeah. That was really funny. Again, they use magic in very bizarre ways in this show.
Yeah, and so they're out of the way now, and Lily like comes in like, I need to talk to you about the Daniel situation. What? No, it's all forgiven now. Anyway.
Again, don't know what they're talking about.
And then evil Emma's like, Emma, it is I, your father, just to screw with her.
It's like, oh god, again, it's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm rolling with it. I have an open heart and an open mind.
Your dad sounds strange, says Lily. Wow. She's very gullible.
Yeah. That sounds a lot like your voice doing a really sarcastic and bad, like, impression of a grown man. You know, what? No, you really need to get out of here.
Because you being here, if my dad sees you, that could get back to Desdemona because she works for him now. It's like she pulls that out of her butt. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like very complicated, convoluted excuse.
Quite.
It's like, oh, I guess that is true. Well, bye.
Yep, and that's that interaction.
Yeah, and then evil.
That's just so. Oh, I'm so sorry, but that's just such a lame. Like, I have to hide my clones from someone. Like, that's a great premise, right? I have these versions of myself who are running around being crazy, but like one of them pretends to be my dad for a second is like, not what? How is that even like a clone situation? That could just be anyone.
like it's Lily buying it shows that she's just dumb. You know?
Yeah, not, you know, I just feel like there's some wasted potential with the clone jokes, you know?
But we get plenty more clone jokes as we go on.
Very true.
I'm sorry, we'll try to do it at a quicker pace now.
You're good, I'm interjecting every 4 seconds.
So then, the original Emma, is like, hey, what was that? As evil Emma laughs, like, ha ha ha, that was so funny what I just did to screw with you.
If you say so, Emma.
and it's like, and then original Emma's like, all right, off to bed now and brush our teeth. Brush our teeth. Yeah. And then she's like, she tries to ask Jax for the clone reversal spell. Like, that's what you wanted to talk to me about? He says.
Yeah. Which I would also be a little confused.
But then he's like, no, I'm not going to tell you because he's like the clone that Emma mentions, the clone that was with you last night. Wait, that wasn't the original you?
Ugh, he's so dumb.
No, and he's like hurt.
Yeah.
Dude, come on now.
I can understand that.
Dude, original Emma has a boyfriend.
Oh yeah. This guy sucks. He sucks so bad.
So it wasn't you who cheated on your boyfriend with me?
Yeah, he's low-key the villain. That's really true.
Yeah. Last night when we went off and did all these, bad things.
Yeah, he's a cheater. Mm.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I won't tell you the reversal spell. I like that, Emma. It's the better Emma.
I know, I know I said that a few minutes ago that I found the new Emma more entertaining, but, objectively, horrible thing to do. Not cool.
That's evil.
Agreed.
I like the darker side of you, so I'm just gonna let this clone situation screw you over further.
So selfish, and it shows that he doesn't like her. He doesn't really like her because if he cared about the real Emma, then he would respect her wishes and also not try to cheat with her and try not to seduce her dad.
Yeah, and
a lot of red flags with Jax and his hair. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, but then as evil Emma comes in, as Jax leaves, she starts talking to Daniel instead. Original Emma does, and evil Emma comes in and is like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do something bad here. I'm gonna screw with this." Original Emma says, "Daniel, duck!" And he's like, "What?" And then she casts a spell on evil Emma, which sends her to the pool.
Oh, that's when that is. Honestly, probably my favorite part of either episode. Her getting dropped in the pool, I'm like, yes, they did a gag. They went to a pool and showed her falling in. Thank you, that's funny.
That's actually a running joke in the show. She can't teleport herself or anyone else anywhere except the school's swimming pool.
Wait, that's really funny. That's good. See, that's good.
No matter how hard she tries, she can't transport stuff anywhere else. Or people, or herself.
That's pretty funny.
And so yeah, evil Emma in her leather jacket has to get dunked in the pool. It's pretty great. And it's like Daniel's like, "What, Emma? Why'd you make me duck like that? Why are you shouting?" "Oh, I'm just really psyching myself up for next period. Yeah."
Oh my God.
You mean geometry? Yeah. Octagons, trapezoids, dodecahedrons.
It's an amazing Emma impression. She really spends the whole show just like stuttering and justifying herself.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a character trait. Anyway.
Wow, you Alonzos really love math. Laugh track. And then original Emma sees the nerdy Emma walking around. We cut to a great scene. Panthers enter the nurse's office like, "Hey, we need some magic triage." And then Andy is there like, and then they start getting in a shouting match in unison. "You? What are you doing here? No, what are you doing here?"
I liked that bit.
No, I asked you first. No, I asked you first.
I didn't understand it, but it's very well timed.
And it was like they go on like this, just shouting things at each other for like a full 20 seconds.
And then Sophie's like, "How did they do that?"
Do they share the same brain? And then Katie gives another one of my favorite lines. Nah, I think they just hate each other the exact same amount.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But like every so often, the show has really good lines in it.
Yeah, you gotta dig for the gold.
Yeah. Yeah, the stage left line and this.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a couple others that I've forgotten. Uh, but yeah. Oh, okay. I'll break the ice, says Katie. We're here because we need help with spells. Uh, and also, where's Nurse Lily? Oh, she's off training for the Witches' Council. Emma's guardian is on the Witches' Council? That's so unfair. Well, what's really unfair is you having a smoothie maker in your locker, says Andy.
Great. Get her. Get her.
And where can we access the Witches' Council? Oh, I'll tell you, says Andy. Okay, so what? She starts
She's like
directing
ushering them out the door. She's like, you take a left and then a right and then a
like,
left and a left.
Yeah, okay.
And then she slams the door in the face and she has a smug look like, that'll show him.
Yep. Hey, bang, bang, bang.
Classic. Good job, Andy.
Exactly. Then nerdy Emma's eating in the cafeteria with her textbook, and her Calculus 1 textbook. That's the only textbook she has.
Yeah, she loves that textbook.
And Daniel sits down with her, and the nerdy Emma is like immediately flustered, like, oh my god, the cute guy is talking to me.
She acts like an anime girl. She's like, oh, I'm such a nerd. Ah. It's so bad.
I got you some orange juice. Why are you sweating so much?
Yeah. Oh my god, she's like, I gotta go. Starts gathering up her papers.
Since when do you wear glasses? Since forever. But just for reading. But I can take them off if you like. No. I like them. Keep them. They make you look studious.
Yeah, not a big fan of that.
And of course, original Emma is watching this horrified.
You know, I would too. See, that's a good clone moment. That's a good moment of clone comedy right there.
Oh yeah, not the last great moment of clone comedy we're gonna get.
True.
I have to run. I must have. Why are you sweating so much? I must have eaten a hot pepper. I'm gonna go wash cold water on my face. Bye.
Very surprised she didn't just drop her books everywhere.
Yeah, and but then original Emma confronts the nerdy Emma later. Is like, hey, why'd you say? Oh, I forgot. She said that she was gonna help Daniel memorize his lines for the play after school.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, how could you promise that? I was supposed to go help Andy with her video game or play video games with her. So, I'm sorry. Daniel's just so cute.
Girl.
He's so dreamy.
Girl, have some self-respect.
Like what? Also, why are you sweating so much? It's like, and like, so can't. There's a lot of dialogue here. But my favorite moment here is like, I'm sorry, I'm sweating so much. Daniel's just really cute. And then original Emma just says to herself, he is, isn't he?
Oh yeah, that was cute. That was sweet.
And like smiles.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm. And then Emma, evil Emma, vows to meet with Jax. Original Emma's like, I'm gonna keep you from going out like this. I cast a spell to tie her hands together.
Yeah, not tie her to anything or teleport her to the pool. That's another option.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be very effective.
You could tie her hands together and teleport her to the pool.
True. Oh, that
would result in death.
Yeah, I mean, it would solve her problem. But
I asked you during our watching of these episodes, would it count as murder if she killed herself?
And should I say my response?
Yes.
Yes, in Catholicism.
And in other religions too, actually.
That's true. Go to jail. Go to hell jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200.
Yeah. And so but like you're gonna stay here and not do anything. You're gonna sit still, making no noise, and pretend you don't exist.
Classic.
And I'm not gonna give credit to the writer of that because fuck you.
Agreed. Yeah, she finally got her legislation passed. Anyway, sorry.
And evil Emma, as after original Emma leaves, is like, "Hey, nerdy Emma, untie me." I can't. Original Emma said not to. But if you untie me, I'll help you get with Daniel. Oh,
Yeah, she's very, very motivated
I
by
don't
Daniel.
know. What? I'm too flustered to talk to him. Why don't I lay the groundwork for you, and then once I do that, we'll just switch.
Diabolical.
Oh, okay. It's like, but you're literally already dating him.
Very true.
But also like,
that does seem like enough groundwork.
Yeah, I can do that if you untie me, and then you can go play video games with Andy. Or
yeah, they also promised to play video games with Andy.
But you can't start talking to Daniel until after Tropical Rainstorm Emma stops leaking out of your pores.
I didn't get that one. Oh, because she's so sweaty. Because she likes Daniel.
It's a tropical.
Gotcha.
It's Tropical Rainstorm Emma because they have names. You see.
Gotcha.
I thought that was kind of a good joke. It's kind of. So she manipulates nerd Emma into untying her, and so then Andy comes over later, and more clones are around. There's a hippie clone.
Yep.
You need to look inside yourself.
And Andy clocks her. She's like, "You are being weird. I don't know what's wrong with you." And this was kind of weird for me because I'm like, okay, like, you know, like baddie Emma and like nerdy Emma, like they're kind of these two sides to her. She's trying to please everyone. Like she has a more confident part of her personality, but her more like nerdy part. But like her hippie part, I'm like,
I don't know if
okay.
I mean, I guess. Isn't her kind of?
I guess so. I feel like they lost the plot a little bit on that one.
Yeah, more clones are around, and yoga hippie Emma is like, "You can see if you look deep within."
LOL.
And I don't want to play the video game, but you do, and I have the perfect solution. She casts and gives herself another clone who's a slob in a robe who's eating Cheetos.
I'm like, yes. But I relate. I'm like, I also have a hippie and a slob who just wants to play video games and eat Cheetos inside of me.
And a bad girl inside you, and a nerd.
Correct. I contain multitudes.
Yes, and then Andy is just like sees all the clones and drops the game out of her hand. She's like, "What is this?"
Yeah, totally.
And then Andy, when real Emma comes home, is like calls out her lies. Like, I was at the movies, the mall of movies.
Again, Emma not being a great friend on that one. I'm like, I don't really get that. I'm like, can't her friend just help her?
Yeah, I thought you'd be mad if I told you. But what's great is like, Andy is like, "Oh, you didn't tell me about."
Oh yeah,
this.
her.
And her in the closet, and her who was crouched under the desk.
Yeah, not sure about nerdy Emma crouched under the desk reading a book. Pretty sure that's just for comedic effect.
And it's like, I'm not mad that you cloned yourself, but I am mad that you left me with the hippie. No, I left you with the nerd who must have made the hippie.
Oh yeah.
Wait, clones can make more clones? Awesome. I mean, bad. I mean, cool in general, but bad for you. And Andy's the best. I love Andy.
Yeah, I like Andy.
But yeah, the neither Jax nor the Hexerin will offer me the reversal spell, so this situation's out of control and I don't know what to do.
Very true.
And like, you're sort of like Frankenstein with all them doing these evil things, weird things. But I'm not responsible for it. Yes, you are, because you created them.
Very true. Which is also the plot of Frankenstein, not taking accountability for your creation.
Mm-hmm. And it's also foreshadowing, because a decade after this, Paola Andino herself appeared in the film Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah, she knew.
Starring,
Honestly,
starring Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse.
yeah, the writers really did their research with that one. I love that they went into the future in order to put that little bit of a nugget, that Easter egg, if you will.
Yeah, I bet they actually knew Diablo Cody, who wrote Lisa Frankenstein, and knew that once the actress Emma's actress is old enough to play the cheerleader part in the movie that has 4 lines.
Yeah, maybe they hired Diablo to include the actress in Lisa Frankenstein to drive home the punchline for this joke.
A 9.5 years in advance.
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. I think this is a solid theory, and I will look into this.
Okay, awesome.
And so
I stand by it.
Yeah, and
okay, home stretch.
Evil Emma promised Daniel that Emma could babysit, and so yeah, Evil Emma's talking with Daniel at the 7, and he's like, wow, how are you so good with dealing with my siblings? It's almost like, and then Evil Emma says, it's almost like there's 5 of me.
Dun dun dun.
Wink, 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 wink. And then Desdemona comes over. I don't like this.
Me neither.
She's like, ooh, are you two living out you're inspiring Daniel for his Romeo part?
Dan, don't wait. Yeah.
I guess, says Emma, Evil Emma. I call her E because that's what she's called later. E. But I like saying Evil Emma, so
Me too.
Like, learn from the play's lessons. Like, let nothing drive you apart. I don't like that.
Me neither.
What did you say about it being racist or something?
Oh, what? That part?
You meant, like, in the context of Romeo and Juliet, there's, like, racism.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, when we were saying what are some lessons that you could take from Romeo and Juliet besides let nothing keep you apart, and I was thinking about West Side Story, and I was like, well, one lesson is that racism is bad.
Yeah.
You know, the two families.
Sure.
Another lesson is don't take your own life.
Yeah.
That's, like, not great, and,
yeah, we also learn a bit later that Desdemona has never read Romeo and Juliet.
Which I just got, that her name is Desdemona and she's never read Romeo and Juliet. That's deeply upsetting.
Yeah. But Evil Emma says, like, I think Juliet's lame. It's totally lame. And you should, like, why is Juliet just on her balcony? She should have skipped her. She should have just gotten on the bus to the city and then gone to the club.
It's giving like second wave feminism.
It's giving Megalopolis. Go back to the club.
The club. And then Daniel just looks at her like, "What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
How dare you say that about Juliet?"
No, you might not believe me on this. This is the second time that Megalopolis has been referenced in this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, as, the movie of our generation,
yes.
I think that makes sense.
Hi, Francis Ford Coppola, if you're listening.
Hi, FFC. Good job. Really stumbled over the finish line on that last one.
Yeah, I saw the movie, and yeah.
Go back to the club.
Yeah. So, You tried something.
Sure did. Okay, cut to hippie Emma, right?
Yeah, hippie Emma finds that T3 were playing in the mud, and she's like, "Yeah, this is great. You're expressing your true selves with nature's paint."
Again, that would be me as a babysitter. That's like definitely my reaction.
And then she throws popcorn on them, and encourages.
That would not be my reaction. Probably wouldn't dump popcorn on them. Not totally sure where that came from.
And she like chases them around, kind of, and like, be messy and then
free.
Oh, then she just leaves. She's like, hey, these kids don't even need anyone to watch them.
That's so messed up. I like that she's not just like a hippie. She's like genuinely really stupid and out of it. You know? Maybe it's those CO2 containers from earlier.
Oh,
Maybe that was
Oh,
foreshadowing that.
Has hippie Emma been huffing CO2 containers?
I mean, maybe that's where they went.
There we go.
Yay, drugs. Sorry.
Those are the drugs that hippies do, right?
You know, you'd be surprised.
So then we cut to Desdemona directing the actors in the play.
Oh yeah, and she's like, you should fight with swords.
But like, wait, Romeo and Juliet fight each other? Yeah. There should be battle scenes with Taekwondo and
Muay Thai.
And then she straight up does a cartwheel.
It was sick, and we had to rewind it, but she does. It is definitely her. It's not a stunt double.
The actress herself does a cartwheel.
She does a crazy cartwheel, and I'm like, damn. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And then she's like, we're gonna add more battle scenes, and then Daniel's like, hey, you know that at the end of the play, Romeo and Juliet die, right?
Which is
what?
A nice way of saying that.
What you didn't even read Romeo and Juliet? Well, no, but I just assumed that the Shakespeare I knew what he was doing.
That assumption.
Yeah.
It's a living text.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You were just saying I'd love to see a version where Romeo and Juliet have extensive battle sequences with each other.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what happened in the one with what's her name, Rachel Zegler, and what's his name?
Ansel Elgort.
What? No. The guy from Heartstopper. Kit Connor? Kit Connor and Rachel Zegler? I like to imagine that's what happened on Broadway. Is that halfway through the show they just pulled out swords and started wailing on each other.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
See, I would watch that. I would pay good money to watch that.
Yeah. And then we have the interaction between real Emma fixing the situation with the Miller house. Is like, go kids, go, run, get in the shower. Then she cleans the room with the spell, and then she's like, oh hey Daniel, you're home, bye.
Yeah, she gives him a very awkward side hug. I was like, ooh.
Oh hey Emma, glad the house is clean. Yeah, thanks, gotta go. Hug, bye.
I'd be so confused and low-key really worried if I was him.
Yes.
Where'd that CO2 go? No.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
And so then evil Emma just tries to make a fool out of Maddie. Like, can you help me? Or I need help.
Oh, this part pissed me off.
You need help? You said it, not me.
Right, because she's like struggling with getting her powers back and stuff. So yeah, she tries to flip that ketchup bottle, and oh my god. You know, I kind of like this part actually, where she's like, you know what'll help you get your magic back? What if you made the ugliest face possible?
And then she pulls a really hilarious ugly face.
She does. Again, W for the actress from Maddie. I appreciate that she committed to the ugly face.
Mm-hmm. As it, like, what? I'm not gonna do that. Do you want your powers to come back or not? Okay, all right. And
very
then
forceful.
And then Emma does the spell for her. Evil Emma does it behind her back. Like, oh, look, that doing the ugly face made it work.
She's like, oh my god, it worked. And then she's like, now you gotta hop on one leg. And I will say, I was disappointed that she didn't keep making the ugly face while hopping on one leg. Yeah. That pissed me off. Mm-hmm. And then she did again, and then she notices, oh, I hate this part. Sorry, I'm getting heated. She notices, and then Evil Madly just starts cackling. Sorry, thank you. Evil Emma starts cackling. Like, that's the funniest thing she's ever seen. Is someone hopping on one leg? Girl, that's not funny. And I'm sorry, it's not funny. And also, hello, comedy, rule of threes, ugly face, hopping on one foot. There needs to be one more thing, and it needs to be an escalation.
Yeah. Like, okay, you also need to do it in a Darth Vader voice.
I was gonna say shave your head. Yeah. And then she's bald for the rest of the show. See, we need a status quo change.
Mm-hmm.
That's good TV.
And then like Maddie's like, you were doing this to mock me? And then Evelyn was like, I just can't help it. It was so funny. Ha.
Again, her sense of humor and mine do not align.
But Gigi happened to see all this from behind the counter.
Oh.
She saw the magic happen.
I don't know who that is. Oh, she's the gossip girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's XOXO Gossip Girl.
She's the assistant director of the play.
All right. Here we are. The climax of the entire interaction.
Yes. So Andy manages to get the reversal spell for the cloning thing, but evil Emma at home is like, no, we're not going to stand for this. Or we're going to stop you, right? Right, rest of the clones? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, everyone seems a little tentative about
the Slav
maintaining their existence.
The Slav Emma's like, I don't really care. And then the hippie Emma's like, well, what does it mean to really exist? And there's something like that.
Again, this is the plot of Severance, is everyone dealing with, like, the fact that they're trapped in limbo.
And nerdy Emma is like, well, does this mean I won't get to see Daniel anymore? And then
that one's sad.
And then they all the clones start arguing amongst themselves. And it's really great. It's
again, great acting exercise.
Paola and Dino getting to do all this must have been a blast.
Must have. I wonder about the filming too. It's pretty fun being like, this is where the mask is. Yeah, totally.
And then of course original Emma and Andy are trying to chat about the spell, and then Daniel, he comes over. He's like about to knock at the door, and then he hears all the chatter inside. Then he looks through the window again.
So confusing. He looks through the window. He just really likes looking through the window. Like, that's just his thing. He just really likes looking through the window. But
yeah, he didn't know that Emma had her powers back, and so he's just caught Emma out, and she's been lying to him that oh no, I don't have my powers back actually. So
what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Emma, what are you doing, girl?
And so he's like, what is this, Emma? And then hilariously, all the clones lean over and say,
what?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
My bad. I was close.
And that is the
end of episode.
The comedy cliffhanger.
Wow, so great.
Dramatic sting. Whoa.
Again, I've been ragging on it, I feel like, a lot. I'm sorry if I've been really harsh the last hour and a half.
No, just keep your reactions genuine. That's what I love.
Why, thank you. But, it does make me want to keep watching. And it's the same thing that telenovelas are really good at. I feel like they're really good at cutting off episodes in the middle of a scene. Mm-hmm. So that you're like, oh, I hate this, but what happens?
Yeah.
Will I watch it?
We'll see.
We'll see.
I know you'll put a priority on watching Gem, right?
Yes, that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, this less so.
I enjoyed talking about it with you.
That's why this whole podcast is worth it to do. So thank you so much, Ames, for coming on. Next time, we'll be with someone else. I'll be covering the episodes Miss Minion and The Breakup.
Wow, I can't wait to listen.
And yeah, so you can, if you want to see what's happened in the show thus far, you can listen to all my podcast episodes, Ames.
Yay!
Yeah.
Honestly, I would much rather do that than watch the actual show itself.
Sure. So yeah, that brings us to the end of another EveRe-Watch Way podcast. Anything else you want to say as we wrap up, Ames?
Keep it spelly.
Keep it spelly. All right, and so yeah, follow EveRe-Watch Way on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Share it around to people that you know. Have an excellent week, everyone. Stay safe. And finally, hey y'all, I'm Raina Harper, and welcome to EveRe-Watch Way, where I podcast a spell that takes a hold of you.
Best magical wishes.